Hello guys, welcome to GAM Cyber Ghost platform. In this video, we are going to show you how to remotely log into your Wi-Fi router. And first of all, you will need to connect to a network, a Wi-Fi network. So I am connected to a network here right now, wirelessly. And after connected to a network, I will need to open a browser. Now, you can use any browser, Chrome, Firefox, Tor, any browser, Opera, so I will use Chrome. Then after opening my Chrome at the URL here, you will not need to type any domain name. All you have to do is just type the IP address. That is the you know default gateway. That is the IP address of the router. So most of these routers, their default IP address is 192.168.1.1. Now, this is the default IP address on most of the routers, that is the wireless routers. And I will click enter, allow it to load a little bit. Let us give it a moment. And this is the username. Now here, I am already inside the router. So all I have to do is I will need to enter the username and the password. Now, okay, for most of the routers, the username is admin and the password can be password. Sometimes it is password, sometimes it is admin. So the password, let me repeat it again. Most of the routers, the username is admin and the password is password. Sometimes the password is admin. So I will type. You need to type the password, the username, admin, and the password. And sometimes, like if you buy a router, check at the back of the router or on the site, you most likely you will find that username and the default password for the router. So in case you already use the router and you forget the password, you reset it. We will provide a video later, how to reset your router. And after resetting the router, you check for the default admin password and the username. So I will type my username here and my password as it is, then click login. Let us give it a moment for it to load. And like you see here right now, I'm in my router. Anyway, it is not my router, it's a friend's router, but I've already logged into the router. And the router name is TP-Link, 300 Mbps wireless and ADSL 2 plus modem router. And in the Gambia, I think this router is from Gamtel. So the router has some places to check for configuration and to check your system status. You have the interface, advanced setup, your access management. Now I will go through this just to explain. Now here, let us start from status. And the status, we have the, the 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 device, that is a device configuration. We have the LAN there and the wireless. Now this is the firmware version of the router. And if I want to upload, the firmware, I will need to download this version. And this my MAC address of the router, and the IP address, like I said, 192.168.1.1, and it is /24, class. And the DHCP server is enabled, and here it lists all the devices that are connected to the network. And you have the WAN configuration and the ADSL configurations here. Now these are the system log. If I want, like, I can delete the system log or save it for some troubleshooting issues. Now let's say if you are intruder, after logging into the router, you do whatever you want to do. You need to delete the system log, because if you leave it there, anyone who comes in as an operator or the network engineer, can go through and know all the login times and all the connected device information. So this is the device information here. and it gives all the device, and we have the statistics. Sorry, let me check the statistics. Here it tells us the Ethernet, cable interface, the transmitter statistics and the receive statistics about the frames. These things are not so much important. You go to the ADSL to check the statistics, and the wireless LAN. Now let us go to system maintenance and see what is there. Now system maintenance, as you see here, I can change my password for the configuration. Then all I have to do is just type the password and confirm it, then save it, then the password will be changed, but I don't need to change it because I don't own this router. And we have let's check this diagnostic and see what is there. System restart, like here in this system restart, I can actually restart the system, from remotely restart the system. Okay, why is it not working? Give me a second, let me check this please. Okay, it has freeze, I don't know, for some reasons. Let us open it here and see. 192.168.1. Give it a time. And remember, like, okay, right now I'm having internet connection, but you can connect to the you can log into your router with or without the internet connection. Like for some reasons, the internet can be down. You like if you want to configure your router before even having internet connection, all you need just be connected to the router. So this thing has nothing to do with the internet, unless if you want to log into your router. That's for as Linksys router or Cisco router, remotely from, let's say you are not directly connected to the Wi-Fi. You can, you know, you need an internet connection. But in our case right now, we don't need any internet connection. So let us go to maintenance and see diagnostic and wow. Let's go back to maintenance. Okay. System restart. Let me click system restart. Okay, you see, in our system restart here, we can actually, restart the system remotely. Like right now, if the connection is slow and we have a lot of devices connected to it, I can restart the system for some reasons and see remotely without not going, physically on in and off in the router. And it gives us two options here. That is, if I want to save the current settings, or I want to uh, 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 the factory default settings. So I will need to leave the current settings. So all I have to do is click restart and it will restart for us. And let's take the firmware, the time zone, and the administration. So let's go for access management. Now in this access management side, it's like where our VLANs and our access lists are available. The simple SNMP, the DDNS, and filtering. Like this access management is like you telling your router who should be allowed and and who should not be allowed. So if you want, we can create an access list here to say, these are the IP addresses that need to be allowed, and these are the other IP that are not allowed. Here, we have a default IP, to be allowed. That is 0.0. So all IPs are allowed here in our case. So if you want, you can go ahead and check some other stuff. And let's go back, go to advanced setup. Now in the advanced setup, that's where we have our real stuff going on. We have our NAT, the routing, quality of services, VLANs, and ADSLs. Okay, now here, let me check the routing. Now here we can configure the router and all other stuff. And the NAT, that is a network address translation. We can configure it here and see how best the quality of service configurations. Like in this quality of service, we give, a higher administrative privilege to other, ports and other IP address or websites, in our network. Let's say, we can give higher administrative, you know, permit, to video, voice and video than data and other stuffs. And here in the VLAN, we can create, several VLANs in our network. Let's say we have more than 3 departments. We can create VLANs for those departments, so that only those in that department can communicate to one another, except if they want to, go to the internet. So we can implement VLAN for security stuff. And this ADSL, configuration can be done here too. So let us go to interface setup. Like in this interface setup, we have all the interfaces, in the router, both logical and physical interfaces. Now we have the internet interface here. All the configurations that has to do with the internet, are going to be, done here. Now we have our ATM VC, the IP at, IPv4 and v6. We have our encapsulations. If we are going to use, point to point or PPE, point to point over Ethernet, let's say bridge mode, dynamic IP address static, that is the encapsulation. And most of the time, like, is the protocols that your ISP is using, and my ISP is giving me, bridge modes. So they are using this for my connection. And the LAN here, it is our local network. Now, when you check here, in fact, it is going to state the MAC address and the device, host name, that is the OS in the device that is connected to your network, and their MAC address and the expired time. That is when, for how many days or times can hours can this, device be connected to your network. That is continuously. So you can actually, use this, and copy the MAC address, apply it on an access list. Then you can block this MAC address if I want. So this device cannot be have access to my network if I want. So you can access the MAC address from here and know who, is actually using your network, in your, or who is actually connected to your router right now. And we have the wireless. The wireless configurations are here. You have the access point is activated, the channel is auto, and other configurations about our wireless. And we have the 6RD configuration here. My 6RD configuration is, is disabled, and if I want, I can enable it. That is if I need it, but we don't need it here right now. And in this router is somehow advanced and nice, because it has 2 interfaces. Like we have a wireless and it has a guest user. So if I want, I can create a guest user here. All you have to do is enable the guest user, type the name, check the password, the encryption, and just click save. And if you want here, you can say, okay, allow guests to access local network. If you don't, and guest login isolation, guest network bandwidth control. You can do some stuff here. So I hope this video helps you, in whatever you are doing, and this how you